Yo, as a Cuban living in Miami, I want to apologize on behalf of the rest of us that just don't see it. I don't know what it is that we don't see. The Department of Homeland Security is telling us what it is, and a lot of y'all are acting completely oblivious to the situation. So the Department of Homeland Security tweeted out, the stakes have never been higher and the goal has never been more clear. Remigration now. What is remigration, you might ask? Remigration is a European far-right concept of ethnic cleansing via the mass deportation of non-white minority populations, especially immigrants, and sometimes including those born in Europe and holding European citizenship. See, now that term has a very long history. Go ahead, look it up. But that is the gist of it, is the ethnic cleansing part. Mind you, these are the same people that came out with the Pokemon Gotta Catch 'Em All ICE deportation video. That Pokemon themselves had to come out and say like, yo, we had no part in that. And I don't know if y'all have seen the deportation videos, but they're not going around asking y'all for documents if you can't speak English. And what's even crazier is that it's like 43% of Miami doesn't speak English. Y'all think ICE isn't gonna make its way down here? They're letting us cool out for a bit because they know that a large majority of Miami is Republican. A lot of the Hispanics are Republican, but you think they're not gonna plan to come down here at some point in these next 3 years? But listen, man, all I'm saying is if you got family that doesn't speak any sort of English, look out for them. That's all. That's because they are playing games, man. They don't care if you don't look the part, if you don't sound the part, they will take you, and we will see you later, man. We'll see you when we see you, because we don't know.
Hey, Miami Trump voter says fiance was kidnapped during annual checkup.
Please, she does not deserve this. She's the sweetest person and she prayed for you.
I will vote for Donald Trump. Ha! Hey, vote for Donald Trump.
I didn't vote for this, but I definitely voted Republican.
That's not what I voted for. That's not what I voted. This is what you voted for. Imbécile. Égaré. Wap fout kon George. Parce que this is what you voted for. And don't act shocked. Hey, don't act shocked now. You shocked now? Don't act shocked now. Sitting there acting like you just found out the casino was rigged after you done handed them people your rent money. Don't do that. Don't act shocked. This is Wayne.
8 months that she's been taken. I call it kidnapped because it basically is.
Wayne voted for Donald Trump because he was told that ICE was only gonna go after violent criminals, gangs, dangerous people. Not, the Cuban woman that he was about to marry. the immigrant that he was laying next to every noche. But here's the thing that everybody don't want to say out loud. Wayne is not alone. There are thousands of Waynes out there. Matter of fact, some of y'all Waynes is watching this right now. People who thought that the crackdown would stop at their doorstep, that it would only touch other people's families. ICE has now detained over 1,000 children. 1,000 kids. Kids are walking to school and getting snatched up. Kids are coming home looking for their parents and getting snatched up. Meanwhile, a federal judge literally called ICE's tactics an attack on constitutional order. ICE whistleblowers have made it known that many of these agents are graduating without even knowing their constitutional duties, without knowing the limits of their authority, and without knowing how to recognize an unlawful order. Meanwhile, my tax dollars, your tax dollars. Did you know that DHS quietly has garnered over $600 million in FEMA funds? Yes, our disaster money. This money is being put into ICE facilities. Private contractors are seeing massive year-over-year profit increases. And somebody bought Christy Noam a $70,000 luxury jet for deportation.
Hello brothers and sisters, welcome back to the channel. I'm hoping that you are doing great from wherever you're watching this video from. Now, Miami Cubans are waking up to the reality, and at least they are recognizing what black people have been saying for the longest time in American history. The worst thing is that they are getting to realize this when, I don't know if it's already late, but I presume that the damage that has been done, especially by Latinos or, for example, Miami Cubans, it's been long, because we have an history about Miami Cubans being extremely racist towards black people and seeing black people as the problem. Right. And I think the enemy made it so much clear. The enemy made it so much easier for this to happen. Remember, there's something called the ethnic cleansing. The ethnic cleansing works in this way. Turn any immigrant against black people. And how do we turn? We turn them by making them think that they are white, by making them think that they are white enough to make certain decisions in America. We have seen the hatred of some of these, that's why I use the word some of these Hispanics spread and causes a lot of problems to black people. So many times I've seen black Americans come out, explain and complain about them being sacked from work because an Hispanic person said this about them, or the Hispanic person talked to the manager of the job and they didn't get the job. We have seen all these things happen. So there has been back and forth towards black people and the Hispanic. This is something that has been going on for a while now, and I think it's imperative for somebody to talk about it, or for people to talk about it. One thing that I'd like to say is that Cubans, Miami Cubans, are now apologizing. They're apologizing after learning that no matter how many times they try to be white, they can never be white. They're just learning that white people duped them. And in as much as they are trying to be white, in as much as they might want to be white so much, it's close to impossible. And everything that they do renders them fertile. So the reality is, and now they are asking for forgiveness. They are asking for forgiveness because they have reached, they are having a realization that at the end of the day, we need black folks. We need black solidarity. We need these black people because they have played a significant role in making some of their things to be successful. Black people have always been asking. Black folks have been standing with Latinos. The question is, why aren't Latinos always standing with black folks? That's just a question that I'm just asking upfront even before watching this video. So brothers and sisters, I want us to watch this video, and I'll be back. I'll be sharing my 2 cents in regards to this because I also have some critical questions that I want to ask as I'm also be interacting with the clips, with the people talking about these things that are happening. Because when you look at historically, black folks have been with Hispanics, but I don't think the same is being retaliated. So brothers and sisters, let us watch this video, and then I'll be back. I'll be sharing my thoughts in regards to this. Right?
Of course. It's always about public safety. Wayne regrets his vote now, but regret does not reunite these children with their parents. Regret doesn't give a first grader his daddy back. You know what does? Accountability. Keeping this story alive. Because we all know that they're counting on us to stop talking about this stuff. So I ain't gonna stop talking about it. I ain't gonna stop talking about book for do not talk. I ain't gonna stop talking about it.
I want to ask a question to all of the Cubans in Miami. Most of y'all look like me, if not lighter, with green eyes or blue eyes. With that being said, when I visited Havana, something that I noticed was that most people living in Havana are unambiguously black. Darker than me, and I mean unambiguously black. So when y'all are advocating for the free use of the N-word, are y'all also advocating for sanctions to be lifted on the people who are actively living in Cuba now? Or are y'all only using the privilege that you genuinely have to advocate for the free use of the N-word? Like I said, I've seen you guys drop a ton of excuses, but I really want to know, what are you actively doing with your American privilege and your white privilege for the people in Cuba, besides perpetuating anti-blackness and then falling victim and claiming victimhood for the justification to use an awful word?
Cuban American woman from Miami here. Actually, I'm from Hialeah. That's real deep. If you know, you know. I'm from Hialeah. I'm originally a Hialeah girl. I am from South Florida. I grew up in a Cuban community. My mom's Cuban. I'm ashamed, and I just want to tell the world I'm sorry. Not all of us Cubans are like that. Some of us do have empathy. Some of us do feel solidarity with the rest of the Latino community that's going through it. Some of us knew this was going to happen and tried to warn our friends and family. I have to explain to you why it's so different in South Florida. The Cubans there live in this bubble where they're the majority, and they think that they're white, and they live in a certain bubble of privilege where they don't see discrimination directed towards them because they're the majority. But I promise you, to those Cubans that haven't really left South Florida, just drive a couple hours north and you're gonna realize you're not white. You're not white. You're never gonna be white enough for them. So I'm ashamed. I'm ashamed of your votes. I'm ashamed of those stupid fucking videos I see you posting. You're embarrassing yourselves because, I see those three Doritos later videos, and I can't help but fucking laugh. Sometimes I feel bad. I feel bad because the person getting deported didn't vote for shit. But I have family members that are getting deported, and I have family members that voted for this fucking shit. And I'm never gonna share a table with them, because now you want to feel sorry, and now you want to feel bad. Now you see the consequences of your action, where our own fucking family is getting deported. It's too little, too late. Too little, too late. I see some of you crying on these videos saying how you regret your vote. I wish you had thought about it before. But these are the consequences. This is what happens when you don't give a fuck about your other fellow humans. Karma's gonna get right back at you. So again, this is an apology video to the rest of the Latino community. Please know, not all of us Cubans from Miami are like that. I'm not. Thanks, and I hope you all have as good a weekend. As good a week as you can have. Weekend. I wish it was the weekend. It's fucking the beginning of the week. But anyway, I wish you all a good week. And know that not all of us are like that. Not all of us are pieces of shit.
I know where I'm from. Many people say, well, your people voted for this. And you know what? I agree with you. And that is why I've chosen not to put my body on the line for anyone because of this reason. I didn't vote for this. But it would also be amiss of me not to bring or shed a light to the situation at hand. I think this is really for the other Cubans in Miami who feel like they can just turn their head to this. One thing I saw after the election that really hit close to home to me was a Cuban woman, saying that since it didn't happen to me, I don't care about it. Well, I'm here to tell you that us Cubans in Miami, we are next. Your abuela's next. Your tia's next. Your nieces, your nephews are next. So, if you don't open your eyes now, when? When it's too late? When you're asking, don't send me back, don't send my abuela back. Babe, it's too late after that. I'm just saying, wake up. From one Cuban from Miami to another, just don't wake up before it's too late.
And can I ask you something? If you guys mind removing this image, could you take this off, please? It's racist. Yeah, I don't want to sit near it. It's racist.
To know what happened. Why do the Cubans and Colombians here hate the blacks so much and make it blatant obvious? I do not understand. When I'm in Cali, different Latinos, but me and the Mexicans, great. New York, Puerto Ricans, Dominicans, blacks, great. In South Florida, oh my God, the Cubans and Colombians go out their way to be rude, nasty, and racist to us, and I don't understand it. And of course, I'm not saying all. Don't ever get it confused. I'm never saying all. I have some really close friends that are Cuban, love them to death. But the majority is wild. It's so weird to me, and there's so many Afro-Cubans, so I'm like, do you guys treat the Afro-Cubans like this in Cuba? How is this going? They go out their way to be rude, nasty, and racist and let you know in their face. They're damn near worse than the white people that are racist. I'm like, what are we doing here?
Miami's a racist place? I didn't know. I'm not the only one that didn't know. Other people didn't know either. It turns out they have an issue with colorism as well as racism in Miami. There was a nightclub and they said the light-skinned girl, she can go in. But here it is. They said, you are too dark to come into this club. You do not know racism until you have heard ethnic minorities hating on each other because of the color of their skin, the shade, the lightness of their skin. It turns out it goes all the way back to when the white Cubans left Cuba. They were the ruling people. They went to Miami, and they feel like all the people who have come after them are lower class, ghetto as anything. And the blacks, well, they're not really feeling them like that. All of this stuff about black equality, they feel that's socialism. All you guys are asking for civil rights, that's socialism. And we just left a nation that was ravaged by communism. There's overlap between communism and socialism. I didn't know. Did you know?
It's like, where are the black people when we need them with their help? With the whole Latino thing going on with the Darwin document, and that triggered all the black community. So now there's a bunch of videos saying a bunch of crap against Mexicans. They go, here we go again. The black community is mad because we're asking for their help. Instead of responding in a good way, they're really bashing us, bashing Mexicans. And saying,
I do have something to say first. This is my humble opinion. I think where we go wrong is that we ask for their help. Personally. And let me elaborate. I don't think that we as brown people should be asking another race of people to help us. I think if another race of people want to help voluntarily, then that's that. I'm going to give you a great example. I've had a black woman, Latina, but black, right? Who is more involved in the Latino community than the black community. As a black woman, but from Latin America. So much so that before Donald Trump was elected, she reached out to me and said, Ricardo, you have a lot of black people that listen to you. Can you please talk to them to help us Latinos? She's black. She's telling a Mexican guy, can you please talk to your overwhelming black audience to help us Latinos? I'm like, you're black. But you see, this is how these kind of terminologies have kind of ruined us a little bit. Mm-hmm. That in the case of like black Latinos, if you will, they're so busy, and I mean this with all due respect to the black Latinos, they're so busy trying to be Latinos that they forget about black people. And they're black. From my observation, to the point where a black woman is asking me, and she's got a large following, but she has been using her following to be involved in the Latino community. And she has to ask me, and this is what I told her though. This is what I said. I said, I will not do that. I will not ask black people to help us at all, actually. And what was disrespectful the most was when I saw that over 60% of Latinos voted for Trump.
Yeah, so I didn't even know that until last week. I said, what?
Check this out. So you mean to tell me our own community voted mostly for Trump, and we want another race of people to help us? That's why black people are offended. Yeah. It's like I've heard it all the time. Black people themselves tell me, we voted for Kamala. You want our help? You need to convince your people to help you first. So now imagine black people from the outside looking in, 60-something% of Latinos voted for Trump, and here comes the Latinos asking for their help. That's disrespectful, man. Of course. Go ahead, Gina.
And that's what I wanted to touch on, because as I stated before, like in the Afro Latino conversation that we had, I find my community not with Latinos. Uh-huh. I am part of the 92% that voted for Kamala. Okay. Mm-hmm. The reason why we say enough, help yourself, is because the elections really did show us that we were alone.
Yep.
It's the sentiment that we really fight for everybody and nobody fights for us. And that's why when they look around, they say, oh, well, we're all the black people. Do you see them protests, the little parades that people were having, protesting? Why do you think they were so peaceful? Why do you think they weren't, the police weren't out there in anti-riot gear and militarized police wasn't out there? We're not using our bodies as human shields for people anymore. When the George Floyd protests happened, I was in Seattle and I was out there. Everything was peaceful until the agents of chaos came in, and they started tear gassing us, like I'm telling you, como perro no trataban.
Yeah.
when all we want is the right to live, the right to exist. Don't kill us. We saw things for what they really were in the elections.
Yeah.
We're
And
done.
you know what? I'm gonna be honest with you. Yes, I agree. We did, but I saw it before the elections. To be honest with you, I saw it before it.
Yeah, I did too. I did too.
I didn't need the elections. I didn't need to see 60% Latino for. I didn't. I've been seeing this my whole life, and I've always told people, the black and brown people that come into my chat way before the elections, y'all pay attention to who comes over here and attack me when I address white tea people. It's Latinos. Latinos get mad when I address white tea people. All the people that got my back in the comment section are black people. When I'm addressing white tea supremacy, all the Latinos come in here, you're a hater. Woo. I don't need the election thing to show me anything. I've seen it not only here in the chat. I've seen it my whole life growing up. Latinos, bro, are some self-hating motherfuckers. Straight up.
And it was such a perfect storm for Latinos to see themselves as they really are.
Yeah.
Because not only would they not vote for Kamala because she is black, they wouldn't vote for her because she's woman.
Yeah.
Machismo.
Esas dos cosas.
I'm telling you.
Mm-hmm.
Because we uphold white tea supremacy.
Mm-hmm. We do.
We do. I don't find my community with other Latinos.
Yeah, I understand that. You're probably safer that way.
And I am.
You're safer that way because although you're Latina, you're black. In the Latino world, the Latinos that matter are the white tea ones.
That's it.
As indigenous people, as black people in the Latino world, we're better off not even fucking with that whole Latino thing. Honestly.
And this is from a 2019, right? It's called the Pew. I don't know if you heard of it. PEW Research Center. 72% of Latinos in the U.S. 72. That's a lot. Think that having lighter skin provides advantages in America. 72.
Of course. With all due respect to your research, I didn't need a piece of paper or a study to show me this. This is not only in the United States. This is in Latin America.
Everywhere in Latin America.
We live by the phrase mejorar la raza. This chant of mejorar la raza is across the board in Latin American countries. Puerto Rico, Mexico. Mejorar la raza is a fucking thing.
Everywhere.
So, yeah, man, you know, it's good to do this research and get the facts to prove it on paper.
Right.
But the evidence is there.
Right. 10 years from now, you're going to see a lot more white tea and Latinos, you know, making babies, and all of a sudden, there goes our cultura. No more Chicanos anymore.
With all due respect, let me correct that. There goes our ethnicity.
There goes your ethnicity.
Because let's face it here. Our cultura is predominantly white tea, and it's been since colonialism.
Yeah.
Everything that we've been representing culturally, what? Speaking Spanish? Whose culture is that? Catholicism? Whose culture is that? Everything about us, as far as like our mainstream culture, we could call it whatever we want. We call it Chicano culture, Mexican culture. The mainstream of it is white tea. It's predominantly Eurocentric influenced. So we've already lost that. Now what we're losing is our ethnicity.
And they're doing a great job by replacing us.
Yep.
Because they're going to take our food that doesn't come from any gringo.
Mm-hmm.
They're taking our music that doesn't come from the gringos.
It's a different kind of genocide. It's a different kind. It's a softer version of it, and we don't see it. They don't see it. But this is actually what's happening.
It's a romantic form.
It's a romantic genocide.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
But for me, you know what I call it, well, I like to call it, is a virus. It seeps into the cells and it multiplies.
Yeah.
It takes over everything, claims it as their own.
Steal everything and claim it as their own. Not only that, they want to be the main representation of everything they steal and shame us for trying to claim it as ours.
And what makes it worse, did you guys see how the Salvadoran president, when he went to what he said?
Oh my God.
Ricardo, I was like, okay, that's it. I go, no more Latinos anymore. The way he fucking saw Trump, and like he defended him, and no, I'm not bringing him back. The fuck?
Tooth and nail.
The fuck?
Tooth and nail.
That's what Trump wanted. Why everyone to see that? And now I'm like, we're 100 steps behind now again. I grew up in East LA, right? There was always a clash from the people that's from Mexico and the people the Chicanos, right? They didn't care for us. There was at one point they hated us.
Yeah.
We just didn't get along.
Yeah, Chicanos and Mexicans.
Yeah,
absolutely.
The Mexicans don't like me because I speak educated. They don't like me. They make fun of me. I speak Spanish fluently.
Yeah.
And people don't understand what we as first generation Chicanos have to, when you're first generation, anything is hard enough, right? Because you're the first generation in America. But for me, growing up in LA was the worst because we were right next to Mexico. Mm-hmm. And the shit that I had to go through, the Mexicans not liking me, I was made fun of all the time. Oh, you've been el pocho, I've been all the stupid shit that they used to call me.
This is why I like to have these conversations, because it shows the intersectionality and it shows that we're all facing the same common problem.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? One thing that Ricardo has said to me, white supremacy doesn't stop. It doesn't stop. It doesn't stop pushing itself on us. So why would we stop?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
When he told me that shit, it turned my brain inside out, upside down, because it's true. So even though we see things and we get discouraged, we can't stop. I definitely understand where you're coming from, Ram, because I promise you I was feeling the same way until Ricardo said that shit to me.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's why I come to his lives, because it makes me feel like there's a place that other people understand. Because people don't, even though they go through it, they don't talk about it. They're either embarrassed to talk about it or they're scared to talk about it.
The reason why I told you that, of course, was because you had said, sometimes, Ricardo, I feel like giving up, man. Our people don't listen. No matter how much we tell them, our people don't listen.
Yeah.
And I told you, do you want to know why? No matter how much we try to bring awareness, why it doesn't work, it's because we give up. White people never have. Ever since they set foot in here, they have never stopped doing what they do. We give up. They don't. They never sleep. Their white supremacist system and propaganda, it never stops. It goes and it goes. We're the ones who take breaks. It's their perseverance that has beat us. That's what it is.
Hello brothers and sisters, welcome back to the channel. I'm hoping that you are doing great from wherever you're watching this video. Again, I'm your host and presenter Eugene Duke Stories. Now, it is so sad that when you get to look at history, you get to see a pattern. And the pattern has been that black Americans, that black folks have always been on the support of Hispanics. They have been of the supports of Hispanics. When you get to look at history, there is a correlation and they can tell you. But I don't think this is the same when you try to ask a black person. Many times black people ask for help. Okay, I'm not saying that all Hispanics have never stood with black folks, but majority of them have never stood with black folks. That's just the fact, and that's the fact that's there. So somebody needs to address this topic. Somebody needs to talk this topic. The question is, why are all these people wanting to unify with the black people? That's the critical question that I wanted to ask. Why is it that people always want to unify with black people when they know that there's something in store for them that they are going to be benefiting from? That's just a question that I'm going to be asking up front. Why is it always like that? Right? So when you get to learn, when you get to understand that this is something that has been going on for a long time, you understand why black folks are trying to call them out for the things that they have been doing. Are trying to call them out for all those crazy stuff that has been happening. So brothers and sisters, Miami Cubans are here. They are asking for your forgiveness. But I don't really know. I can't rush to really say maybe it's genuine or maybe it's not genuine. But I think the most important thing is first starting by learning the importance of unity. And it is not learning the importance of unity if only it benefits you, but I'm talking from a point learning the benefit of unity if you can both stand up for each other. That's one thing that I wanna make clear, or I wanted to make clear. So I really don't know what you all think about this, because I know there has been microaggressions or macroaggressions that has been there between blacks and Hispanics. So many sentiments that black people have shared in regards to them receiving racist attitudes towards Hispanics, racist attitudes towards Miami Cubans. There was a time when racism in Miami Cubans, or the anti-blackness in Miami Cuban, was getting out of hand, and somebody had to step and talk about it. Right? This is crazy. And this is something that I feel like needs to be talked about. This is something that I feel like needs to be addressed, because it forms part and parcel of American problem. When white folks are cosplaying all these things that are going on, they are always trying to make you feel special, but in reality, you get to learn that you're not special. You just bought another project that they're gonna be using, and once they use it, they dupe you, they use you, then they dump you. That's how they do. So for the longest time, Latinos moving out here thinking that they are white, or thinking that they can be accepted by white Americans, it becomes so much difficult for them, because this cannot happen. It can never happen. The moment they learn that, I think the better they understand. So it is crazy, the anti-blackness, especially with with the Latino culture that has been going on. When you get to look at Telemundo, the people that they cast on all those TV shows like Telemundo, all those the adverts, the beauty standards and everything. I'm just trying to talk about the anti-blackness, because it begins with all those microaggressions before going to macroaggressions. The microaggressions, the small things that happen, those are the things that we talk about. So how you live between each other, blacks and Latinos, really matters. But I think the heavy side is on the Latinos, because they only need black folks when it's important to them. So that's just my question. Do you really think it is fair that people are always wanting black people when there is something in store that they are always trying to benefit? Right? So please, let me know what you all think about this. I just want to know your opinion in regards to this. And for those who are watching me for the first time, I'm your host and presenter, Agent Stories. And I just want to say thank you for taking your time watching the video, liking, subscribing, sharing, and everything. Just want to say thank you. So until then, let me see you in my next video. Peace, love, and harmony. Salute.